My name is Niels Strøyer Christophersen. I'm the founder and CEO of Frama. I founded Frama in 2010. And it was a passion for space and for materials, especially natural materials. I recently got a baby, so that also affects how you sleep and how you work, and yeah.
Congratulations. How old is she or he?
She is 7 months. Everybody gets kids, so but it's normal, but it's always it makes impact in your life. In general, in Copenhagen, I think of course January is always quite special because the weather is it's a difficult month because the weather is a bit sad. But I feel the industry of design and food is very like kind of yeah, like on fire and like motivated and looking into like a exciting year and yeah, I think people are still very what do you call it, entrepreneurial. They want to create, they want to take part of something bigger and be part of the community of Copenhagen. So, yeah, I think more recent life, but I mean, I became very like late in my life, I became quite fond of architecture. I mean, I always been fond of spaces, but more from an interior. Donald Judd is this American artist and also deals with spaces and architecture. He was based in New York, Soho for a while, and then also he moved to Marfa, Texas, where he created like a destination for artists and architects and designers. Peter Mackley and Peter Zumthor, they're both two architects, but they're kind of more, I would call it art architects. So not conventional architects in that sense. Very have a high sensibility for spaces and materials, and the way they approach architecture, I find very admiring. I think because it's very yeah, it's very like kind of wholesome. It's very very holistic in a way. But I think also, I think Apple has been doing a great job in terms of like the way they have been caring for the brand. I guess it doesn't need any introduction. Or it's such a big corporation and such a big company, but they they still have this like very pure essence when it comes to design and to identity and to the brand, the core brand values. And I think that's very admirable. I mean, it's easier if you're small and keep it, very tight, but I think it gets more and more difficult just the bigger it goes. So I think that's also very interesting that they've been very successful with that. So. I think there's Le Maire, you probably know. I think they also have a shop in Le Maire is he's they've been doing Le Maire for many years, and I think the fact that they still believe in what they're doing and has not been maybe their priority has not been like the obvious commercial success as many other clothing brands, and I think also the way they present their collections in their own spaces, I think is very, thoughtful and very nice. The last one was my friend Nathan Williams, who founded Kinfolk, and I think similar, but he's been very good at like having a very like a red thread in his life and his in his endeavors, like productions, and so I think they were like very pioneering in what they did. He's in south of Italy, where he's renovating an old house. I think you still feel this like the essence of Kinfolk. You still feel in when you're visiting, and the way he's thinking and cooking and caring for friends and people, and so it's. I think the values of Kinfolk when it was established and like almost the first 5-10 years was is very very admiring and very interesting because yeah, it was another way of presenting each brand is very like concentrated around their ethos, and I think that's something I appreciate, that they have some sort of dogma in their life, and in their way of thinking and in their way of executing. So I think that's I definitely believe that like pieces and furniture have an energy, and the way they're designed, and yeah, the shape and the form and the material, the color, the entire kind of has this like energy and presence in the room, and you know it. I think it's important to become friends with your interior. You know, I think it's you know, and I think that's what we're aiming for, to make friends in people's homes. You know, I kind of like that concept that you that our furniture is placed in a home, and they expresses something yeah, meaningful and wholesome. We have a DNA as a company, and I think it's maybe similar to your company, to B Magazine, that when the company is big enough, it kind of like, you know, it kind of it's like a beating heart, like it kind of like has impulses that are like, so the company represents something, and then the people are being attractive. So it's getting easier desto bigger you are, you know, desto more established, desto more clear maybe your brand is. It attracts certain people, and then of course, I mean, we have different small in-house communities. We have someone who's preparing a Friday bar, or we have someone preparing the summer trip, or we have someone preparing. Recently, we just had an auction, so we were kind of we had some products that we, you know, how do you call it, not secondhand, but like miscellaneous products, and so we had like an auction where people could like bid on the products, and you know that was fun, and people have a good time, and I think like creating an environment that is maybe beyond kind of the usual work is, at least maybe for us, quite important. What does it mean to be human? I think that's an interesting question.